Hi guys, today I'm going to share with you my March Project Life pages. I'm a little bit behind. I had to have surgery in March and I also went on vacation very close to the beginning of April. So I'm a little bit behind and I'm trying to catch up. So this is my spread for March. I did one Design A page here on the left. I did a Design H page in the center, which is a half page. And I did a final Design A page. Now, I don't know if you can see it, but once I get close up, you will. I have these little rubber pieces stuck around. Those are just covering up some personal information. So let's take a closer look. I'm gonna zoom in and show you each of my cards. Okay, here is my title card for this month. Now, most of the cards that I used are from the Scraptastic and Gossamer Blue Project Life kits that you subscribe to. So that's mainly what I used. Now, I ended up with another teal and orange kind of overlook to my pages this month. I didn't mean for that to happen. It was kind of like that last month. If you want to see that, I will link that below to my January and my February 2014 Project Life page shares. But this one kind of came out with the similar colors, but it looks very different. So overall, I'm really pleased with it. Okay, this is the first card here for March. Now, I did some stamping here on the right. Now, just to let you know, guys, I am a stamper at heart. You are going to always see a lot of stamping in my Project Life pages. It is time consuming to stamp and also to do embossing, but I love to do it. I'm a stamper at heart. I have been stamping and making cards a lot longer than I've been doing Project Life, so that will always be incorporated in my pages. So the stamps that I used are from Gossamer Blue. This was from their January Life Pages kit, and these are exclusive to the kit. I used this stamp right here that says "This is Life" and this arrow stamp, and I'm going to show you a close-up of these because I heat embossed them with some Ranger embossing powder. This is the super fine detail gold embossing powder by Ranger. I absolutely love this stuff. Jennifer McGuire was talking a lot about it and I just got so tempted. I had to try it and I'm so glad that I tried it because it is amazing and it is going to be my new go-to gold embossing powder from here on out. And here it is, stamped out and embossed, and look at that great gold shine. And I love it because if you see in the "This Is," those letters are really tiny and detailed, and that embossing powder really is great on detailed lettering. You can still read things clearly. It doesn't make anything fuzzy. I absolutely love it and I would highly recommend it. So I did some stamping there and embossing, and I did a lot of that this month, so I'll show you that as we go along. Okay, the next picture here is of our grandkids, Hayden and Christian. Now this picture here, I don't believe was taken in March. They look a lot smaller in these pictures than they do now. This was on their grandparents' Facebook page. I absolutely love this picture and it just made me think of like the spring coming up. It's a big tree that they found at the park that had a hole in them that was pretty much the whole size of Hayden's body. So I thought that was really cute. I used a love sticker from the kit and it's gold and I really like that. It went well with my theme this month. And it says, "You are so fabulous." That was from the cutouts that came with the Gossamer Blue kit this month. And just a wooden ampersand wood veneer that I love. So that picture was super cute. I wanted to include it for March. And then my next picture is also of Christian. He had his hair cut and it's really cute. It came out so nice, and that was on the 4th. Now this nice hair sticker I have had in my stash for probably like 16 years. And I can't believe I finally got to use it. So I was excited about that. Okay, the next picture here is just a sunset that I took on my way home from grocery shopping. The oranges and the yellows were just amazing. And I took this picture with my cell phone, so I'm really super amazed at how nice it came out. And the card said "Pure and Simple," and I thought that was just perfect for this card. And my card just slipped out here, so I'm gonna just add that in real quick. There we go. Okay, and then the next card here is, we watched this movie this month. It's Complicated. I absolutely thought this was the funniest movie in the world. I cracked up the whole time. It was so cute. It has Meryl Streep, Steve Martin, and Alec Baldwin in it. And I had never seen it before. So this is the movie we watched this month. We only got to watch one in the month of March. We're really not huge movie people, But I love the arrows on this card pointing to the picture because I wasn't going to do any journaling, so I thought that was cute. Now this arrow here that came on the card from the kit was actually pink, and I just made an orange arrow to add on top of it because I just figured it blended better with my colors. I always have a tendency to tweak cards like that. Down at the bottom I stamped stars, because I thought the movie deserved 5 stars, and I used these stars from this kit right here, this stamp kit that is from Studio L2E called Rate It. You guys have seen this in my past Project Life pages. I will probably use this stamp set on every Project Life spread of my whole entire life because I love it. And it's so cool. So I also did the heat embossing with the gold embossing pattern from Ranger down at the bottom. Love how that came out. Okay, my next card is March Madness. I'm a big Syracuse fan because I'm originally from New York. So we watched a lot of March Madness. Well, at least until our teams did bad. As soon as our teams did bad, we were like terrible and didn't watch too much. But my team went out in the second round. My husband's at least lasted a little longer. I think he's a Michigan fan, so his team stayed around. And this card here, I don't know if you can tell in the background. I'm going to pull it out so you can take a look at it. I did some heat embossing down at the bottom as well with that gold detailed. I just rubbed my Versamark pad across the bottom and across the top, and then I added the embossing powder. I just love the way that looked. It just gave the card such a nice finished look. And I wanted to definitely document the fact that we watched a lot of March Madness because it took up most of our March. And then here I use my go-to letters from Tim Holtz. I absolutely love these letters. I'll show you the pack here. I ripped the cover off just because it was getting in the way. I think this letter pack costs about $1.99 and I love it. It's just loaded with so many stickers, and these are my go-to stickers for Project Life. I love them. I cannot get enough of them. And then basically what I did is I took my Signa gel pen and I just put little dots over each letter because I wanted to bring attention to the fact that it said love this. So that is my March Madness card for this month. Then my next card here is my first oil change on my truck. And I love the way this card came out. My truck was purchased for me for my first year anniversary by my husband. I love it. And as I wrote here, it has fake oil. It's a Toyota FJ, so you only have to change the oil every 10,000 miles, which is awesome. That's like perfect for me. I added a gold Studio Calico star, and then I stamped this little vehicle up on the top and used the gold embossing powder for it as well. Now that is from my other go-to stamp set that you will see 100 times in my Project Life, again, which is my Rate It from Studio L2E. I used the car, which is right there. Okay, and then my last card, I really love the way that came out, and that's just blocking off my town name. Just for safety purposes, I like to not put that out there. And this was a stamp that came in this month's stamp set for Scraptastic. Really cute. It was March's set. And I looked at it and it reminded me of a snowflake. And then I thought to myself, well, when am I going to need a snowflake in March? Well, guess what? It snowed a lot on March 2nd. So I have this app that I use. It's called InstaWeather Pro. I absolutely love it. You can take a picture of your weather and then put different overlays on it. And if you can see, that has the date. It says Sunday, March 2nd, and it was 9 degrees out. And that was the time of sunset and sunrise. And just a shovel from my drive where my husband was cleaning. And I used the snowflake stamps around this, and I also used the gold embossing powder on them, and they came out so cool. Okay, so we're gonna move on to my second page, which is my Design H, which is my half page. We'll take a look at that next. Okay guys, here is my second spread for March, and this is just a half page. It's a Design H. This happened on March 14th. I actually had to go to the emergency room. really not fun. I was having chest pains. I have a long history of chest problems with a heart valve that I had surgery on, and I was having excruciating pain that day. So my husband felt that it was smart for us to just go to the emergency room. And here is my doctor's information and my name and social from my hospital band. So I just have that covered up for privacy purposes. So let's zoom in and we'll take a closer look. Okay, here is the first card from the spread. It says emergency room. I did use different lettering here, so I'm kind of proud of myself. Different letter stickers than I had in my stash. I added some washi tape, and here I used an app on my iPhone to do an overlay of the hospital name, and it says rough times, and it really was rough times. I ended up having surgery that day. They needed to go in and take a look at my heart to make sure that I didn't have any blockages or if there was any problems going on with those valves. And they did have to go through my wrist, up my arm, and then into my chest. So it was really traumatic and really rough. And this is just the arm brace that they put on you when you are done with the surgery so you don't move your wrist. And that was just my stats that my husband took a picture of. Okay, and then this is my next card. Here is some stamping again. Now this stamp is from a Paper Smooches stamp set that I have that's called Healthy Vibes. I have 2 health-related stamp sets from Paper Smooches, and these are highly recommended. If you guys do not have these, I would highly recommend this because you're always getting, or at least me, I'm always getting sick. Someone's always getting sick or falling ill, unfortunately. So they're just a great stamp set to have. So if you can see there, that stamp is right here. And I stamp on a pre-existing card from the kit. And then I also added the medical sign, which is right here. And I added a Today wooden veneer, and I just backed it in orange to bring in the orange from my other pages, because if you can see on this one, I really didn't have a lot of orange. So next card here is just the date and the time. My husband took that after I came out of surgery. And the top one is another stamp, and that is right here. How cute is this Band-Aid? I love this Band-Aid. This is from the first aid kit from Paper Smooches, and I paper pieced it, and I just adore how that came out. And I'm going to pull the card out so I can show you a closer look at it. And I used my Wink of Stella pen on that to put a little sparkle on the heart. I don't know if you can see that. And I paper pieced it so that it would have some dots on the Band-Aid. And I adore the way that card came out. So I was really happy with that. Let's see if I can slide that back in. And I added some sequins. And down here was my wristband and a business card for my cardiologist. And I just, like I said, I covered certain things up for privacy purposes. I had this gold star washi tape in my stash, so I incorporated that since I had a lot of gold going on. And I really like that for this month because gold and green for St. Patrick's Day, it worked out really cute. So that was the front half. Now we're going to go to the back. Now this was when I went in for surgery, and if you can see, I used a cutout from this month's Gossamer Blue cutout pages or cutout pieces. When you order the kit, you also get a sheet of cutouts that you can print on your printer and cut with your scissors. And if you can see, I used the one that says dislike, 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 because I dislike the fact that I had to have surgery. And I added another one of those medical things here. And I love these tabs. This is from the kits as well. And these tabs are becoming fast favorites of mine. Now this was the 1-day surgery. Even though it is non-invasive, or it says non-invasive, I don't even know what that means. They went through my wrist, up my arm, into my shoulder, and into my chest. I don't know how you consider that non-invasive. I was pretty messed up for weeks after that. I couldn't move my wrist and my arm. I was sore. It was pretty not nice. So I'm going to stay overnight for observation because they wanted to make sure everything was clear. So this was me ordering my dinner. We had gotten there at 10 a.m. in the morning. So by the time I had my surgery and I got out of surgery, which is like 6 o'clock at night, I was starving. So this is me here just reading over my menu. And I actually did this before the surgery because if you could see, I don't have the armband on. They let me order my food ahead of time. And then I used another stamp from the kits this month, and this was from the Gossamer Blue March kit. There was foodie stamps this month, and I have to say this is probably like one of my new favorite stamp sets. It's all about food, which is like all about me. I love to put food in my project lives. So this one here says on the menu, and I stamped it down here in VersaFine Black, which came out really nice. And then here is my food, and the food was so good. I know people are like horrified when they think about hospital food, but this hospital is really great. They have volunteers that come in and they make everything handmade, so, or homemade. And the soup, the chicken soup, was so good. So I did put a little soup stamp at the top, and again, this is from Paper Smooches. Here is the soup spoon and the soup stamp, and I put them there. And the Let's Eat is also from the Gossamer Blue set, which is right there. It says Let's Eat. I told you guys I like to do a lot of stamping, so you're going to see stamp, stamp, stamp all the way through. And then the final card here is a picture of the parking lot. My husband must have taken this when I was in surgery, but this flag right here, this pennant, was part of the Ormolu cut-aparts in, I believe, the Scraptastic kit this month, and it just kind of went with my theme really well. It had all the right colors. It had the X on it that kind of reminded me of the medical sign. I think this was more for like gaming, but to me it worked with my theme, so I incorporated it in. And I just added some washi tape for interest in this bottom corner. And that is my vehicle parked in the parking lot, if you can see it right there. I guess one more page for this month, and we'll take a look at that one next. Here is my final page for the month, and I absolutely love how this page came out. I put a lot into this page, and it took me quite a while to put together, but I'm okay with that. Guys, okay, this is the final page spread, so I'm going to show you the close-ups of these. This here was St. Patrick's Day. Now, this was just a couple of days after my surgery. My husband and I usually like to go out for St. Patrick's Day, but this year, because of my surgery, I wasn't able to, so I decided to make my own St. Patrick's Day meal, and I cooked corned beef and cabbage, and it came out excellent, and I was really proud of it, so I wanted to document it. Here's my potato and carrots, here's my corned beef and my grilled cabbage. Everything just came out so delicious. It's probably one of our all-time top meals that we've had in this house, and I do a lot of cooking. I also dyed my own beers because we always love to go out and have green beer on St. Patrick's Day, so we had it at home this year. And I had this really cute Shamrock wood veneer in my stash, and basically all I did was cover it with Versamark watermark stamp ink, and it's just clear. I just stamped this on top of the wood veneer, covered it with the embossing powder, and then heat embossed it, and it came out really super cute. Now, I don't know if you can tell, but I have this on the outside of the page protector, and the reason why I do that is because otherwise it gets too thick in the pocket and it ends up splitting the seams. So when I have something that's super bulky, I tend to keep it on the outside of the pocket, and it works out really well. On to the next cards. This Oso Yummy card really stood out to me in the kit this month. And what I like about this card is I took two cards in the kit and I combined them into one. And I like to do that so that I have unique cards that no one else has. This Just My Luck with the Shamrocks and the Oso Yummy, I cut and merged them together. So now I have a unique card that no one else has, and I really, really like that. And here's just a picture of my corned beef while it was grilling. It looked so delicious, I could not help but to take a picture of it. And this Love Wood veneer was left over from my February kit. This stamp right here, I stamped myself and I colored in my Copics. This is an MFT a la mode stamp. It's probably the first one I ever bought, so I was really glad to finally use it. And I used my Wink of Stella to put a little shimmer on top of that Shamrock. I thought that would add a little something extra. And the reason why I took this out is because this card has some hidden journaling in it. The first thing I used here was the stamp from this month's set that is Good Eats, and it is right here. And this was the Gossamer Blue March stamp set. And this just goes to show you how great the detail on that embossing powder is. If you used any other embossing powder, you would not have gotten crisp letters like that. I just cannot believe how well this stuff performs. The second stamp that I used on this was the Tasty Rating stamp, and that is from Create Indie, and it is their foodie set, and it's right there down at the bottom. This is a new set, and I'm really pleased to be able to use it. I love anything food oriented. So because I had so much going on this month, I had to do a little hidden journaling, so that worked out great when I needed it. It's a great thing to do when you have a lot of pictures and you don't want to take up a lot of space journaling. On to the next cards, and here I just have my town blocked out like I had mentioned earlier. This is another custom card. The Memories was its own card, and the Cloud with the raindrops was its own card. I split them and joined them together and just ran thin gold washi tape to seam them together. And again, it's another custom card, so I'm really happy how that came out. The two stamps on this card are also from Gossamer Blue. They are from the February 2014 kit, and they're right here, photos and details, and I just used those together, and I put an enamel dot in between. And this was just a tornado watch that we had in our area. It was the first one of the year, so I wanted to document them. I live in the Midwest, so we get a lot of tornado watches, a lot. More watches than warnings, which is a good thing, but I wanted to document that. And on the top, I stamped some raindrops from my Ultimate Favorite set, which is right here, which I mentioned several times already in this layout. Even though I use this stamp set a lot, I try to get a little different with it so it doesn't get boring. I used it on one of those great Scraptastic tabs that I'm starting to really, really like. So I put the little raindrops on there and I heat embossed them as well. And this cloud card was really cute in the kit, so I wanted to use that. And I think this rain layout came out really super cute. Okay, on to my next cards. My husband did a lot of work out in the yard. We had a tree that was cut down, and he did a lot of moving, splitting, and carrying of big pieces of wood, and I mean, he just did an amazing job, so I wanted to totally document that. And I found this Love You frame, and I believe this was in this month's kit. I'm not 100% sure, but it was definitely in one of the kits. That's where I get most of my wood veneers, and it fit perfect on this picture. I will be honest, it was a tight fit in this pocket, and I thought it was going to split the seams, but it did eventually go in. I had to force it a little bit. Okay, on to the next card. My cat, Salem, she finally made it into my Project Life, and so did my cat, Pookie. They have not shown their faces yet for my Project Life for 2014, so I was glad to add them. This card here that says Life, this base card, is actually not from any of the kits this month. It's actually from the Kiwi Core kit that I purchased at Michael's. Now I do have a video where I flip through those cards, and I will link that below in case you want to see that, but that kit has a lot of great cards in it, and they have a lot of orange based cards in them, and orange was part of my color scheme for this month, and usually most months because it's my favorite color, so it worked out perfect. Now I'm not sure if you can see this in the picture, but this is a wood frame is my window, and this is a cat tree that she's sitting on, and she usually looks out the window and she is bird watching. So I found this really cute bird watching sticker in my stash, and it just worked out perfect. The colors were perfect, everything was perfect about it. So I added that onto this picture, and then I used my go-to Tim Holtz letters for Salem's name, and I had this cute little paw print sticker in my stash as well, so I added that, and I think this card came out really, really cute. I'm happy with that. Then we wanted to put Pookie in there as well, which is my second cat. Now she's a little strange. She likes to sleep against my husband's foot. Yes, when he is on the couch and we're just watching TV and he's just hanging out, she likes to curl up against his foot and sleep. It's really strange. She's been doing it for a while now, but it's kind of cute. And I found this sticker here that says snoozin', which was perfect because she's fast asleep. And then I paired it with this card from the kit, which was also perfect. When you wish upon a star, it just made me think of like stars and dreaming and making a wish on a star. It just all worked out so well together. And I found this Brad in my stash as well, which is a little kitten footprint in orange. Worked out perfect as well, so I added that to the card as well. So the cat pictures came out super, super cute this month. And then I'm going to move on to my last final card. Here I did more stamping. The stamp here is from the February Scraptastic stamp set that came with the kit. It's right here, and I actually love this stamp. I didn't realize until I used it. It is so perfect for marking the date, and which I did here. I had some extra space that I wanted to fill in, and I wanted to date stamp, and this just looks so cute together. And I'm going to show you a close-up of it. I circled the month, and then I put a little rhinestone on it once I filled in the colors, and I did that on the day as well for the 30th. The girls that I work with wanted to go to a container garden class at Callaway Fields, so we did that, and it was really fun. I had never done anything like that before, so I was happy. The first one that I made was my succulent garden, which is right here on the top, and it is all my cactus plants that I put together. And then my second one was my hummingbird garden that I put together with all hummingbird and butterfly plants. And that's me just up at the top planting away. And I found this really cute gardening tool in my stash, and I thought it went perfect with it. So I was really happy overall how this card came out. At first I thought it was a little too busy, but now I'm really liking it. And that's it, guys. That is my whole entire spread for March. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm trying to catch up as quickly as I can, and hopefully I will have April's spread up for you guys soon. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.